Good afternoon and welcome back to Asgard and welcome back to Crackpack. So today we're going to be wrapping up our on-camera work in our library area. So like I said last episode, we're going to be working first off with the Osmotic Enchanter, and then I did go and updated Ender IO. So we're going to be setting up our inventory panel and connecting it so that we have access to all of our enchanted books through the inventory panel. So I still have to finish setting up this last bookshelf and everything, or the last two. But anyway, I've got an Osmotic Enchanter here. I did go and I had to do a little bit of research to get this. It's not that expensive to craft, mainly obsidian tiles, spellbinding cloth, thaumium ingots, and enchantment table. But you will notice that it is a dangerous level infusion. Do be careful with that, because I had a little bit of issue with it. I did have to go and upgrade the altar and add a bunch of stabilization stuff because we hadn't done that yet. So anyway, now that we've got that, what we can do is set it right here. It looks like it's raining apparently. Ooh, haha. And we'll set our Osmotic Enchanter right here. Now, in addition, this also needs obsidian totems around it. And you're going to need 6 different totems. And each of these can range in height from like 2 to, I believe it's like 8 high. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to add, let's see. I'm thinking like something like this for the shape, and then each of these is also going to need nitor on top of it, and these don't all have to be the same height or anything like that, and they need to be somewhere within 4 blocks range from your Osmotic Enchanter. And so now that we've got that, what we can do is we can just add an item into here, and you'll notice that we have all these different enchantments that we can select. You're also going to need a wand in this. And so let's say we wanted on this sword, let's say that we wanted vampirism. And you'll notice that vampirism requires 12 aqua, 12 ignis, and 9 perdito. So that's the base cost of it. And this, there we go. You can adjust the level right here. So if you want level 2 vampirism, you can select it. In addition, we can add additional enchantments to it. So say we wanted like looting, we could throw looting on there and say like looting 3. You know, we can select it with this. Now right here, you're going to notice that it's the same cost for each of these levels. If I recall correctly, it's going to be that cost per level. So you're going to cost 12 aqua, 12 ignis, 9 perdito per level on this. And we could also do, say, valiance and bump that up to, say, like a tier 5. And that's going to be 12 ignis, 14 ordo, 12 terra per level. Now you're going to have to have something at least better than a gold cap wand. That's not going to be able to run the Osmotic Enchanter. So basically you're going to need at least a thaumium boss silverwood wand in order to use this. And so I think we're going to go with like a vampirism 2 sword, basically just because I want to disenchant it. Vampirism 2 is something that I need on a weapon for our bookshelves mainly. And we'll hit start enchanting, and you'll notice it's going to start pulling stuff from this wand. And there we go. It's that simple. It doesn't require any XP or anything. And we now have a sword with vampirism 2. So what we can do is we can come over here and we can throw it into the disenchanter and let that run. It's going to pull the enchantment off of that sword. And there we go. So we got our book, our enchanted book, and our sword just went out. And in addition, there's, you know, different enchantments for armor. Let's take a look at some of those. Alright, so if we take a look at armor, we can do protection, fire protection, blast, projectile, thorns, and unbreaking. And then on the pickaxe, we can do efficiency, silk touch, unbreaking, fortune, shatter, tunnel, flaming touch, and disintegrate. Now in addition, if we open up our Thaumonomicon, you'll notice that in Thaumic Tinkering, there's all these different enchantments. There is an absolute ton of them that we can eventually get. Now it's weird that we can get shatter right now because I don't have that unlocked. But there's a number of different things here that we'll able to get. So let's say, let's take a look. It says we can get Shatter, so I guess we can do it. That's interesting. I don't know. Flaming Touch is another one I'm going to want to get, so let's go ahead and get ourselves some Flaming Touch, and we'll go ahead and start enchanting that. And you'll notice that we can't enchant something that's already enchanted. It has to be a base item to do so. So just keep that in mind. And let's go ahead and get that disenchanted. I'm going to do a little bit of research here and get some of these enchantments unlocked and get some books for our bookshelves. And then I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, and there we go. We've got most of these all filled out now. Osmotic Enchanting was the main thing that I was waiting for at the moment. So we've got that stuff, at least one of pretty much all this stuff. To fill out these two bookcases anyway. This is mainly weapons and armor, and then I've still got to do tools, and then kind of miscellaneous stuff like unbreaking. Flim Flam I may end up moving. Flim Flam's easy to craft. It's honestly kind of a junk enchantment. You don't actually want it because it has a lot of negative effects. But for the sake of completion for our library, I went ahead and crafted those. Basically with just emeralds is what it costs. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to plug up our inventory panel. And I'm thinking we're going to put it... Okay, I think we're going to put it like right here. So we're just going to bring our item conduits up. In bat form right now. We'll bring it like right up through here. I don't want this to connect. And then we're going to set it up right there. We'll bring out our actual inventory panel right there, and it says it's offline. That's because it requires nutrient distillation in order to work. So let's get I'm thinking just some indoor tanks. We've got a white, and I'll go ahead and grab this one. We're going to change it over. Let's get like 6 dandelion yellow. And that will work. And let me go ahead and grab some and get some fluid conduits. And let's see, where is our nutrient distillation? It's right here. Yep, it's right there. So let's go ahead and we're going to set up our ender tank like right here. And let's go ahead and change this over to yellow, yellow, yellow. So we'll go ahead and put this here. We're going to say you're going to insert, and over here you're going to extract always active. There we go. We have nutrient distillation in the yellow, yellow, yellow channel. Alright, so we're going to set up an ender tank like right here, just behind the scenes kind of a thing. And we'll dye it yellow, yellow, yellow. We'll have the conduits come out like so. Yeah, I need you to connect. Extract, always active. That's not where I want you. And for fluids, we're going to say you're going to insert here. And so now we can turn this on once we're ready to start it. Let me go ahead and fill this back in. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to give any item conduits with an inventory, we're going to want to give them remote awareness upgrades. So we'll start here. These aren't terrible to craft, honestly. Just requiring a little bit of silicon, conduit binder, electrical steel, and I have ender. So not too bad. Let's go ahead and put these in, and these can be used in conjunction with a filter. Okay, and I've used up all 10 of those. I just made it. I still don't have these two on this side. So really I didn't even make a dent in the amount that we're going to need. But anyway, now we can take a look and see that all of these enchanted books are listed in here with the amounts that are present within it. So we could say we want Bane of Arthropods. It's not searching it. Interesting. Bane? Okay. Well, maybe it won't search. Yeah, it's not allowing us to search with the book. Okay. That's okay. Anyways, we've got access to all of them right here, which is great. Really the only kind of sorting that makes any kind of impact is by number. So, oh well. Well, okay. Well, anyway, we can't search specific ones, but oh well. That's fine. We've still got access to all of them here, so we can find them in here, but it'll still be useful. And it's kind of a fun way to have kind of like a card catalog system. That's how you set it up anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much all the enchanting. I did set up a Draconic Evolution Disenchanter, and I've still got to set up the Mind Factory Reloaded Enchanter and some things like that. We've got a couple additional things that we'll want to add into this, like the Auto Enchantment Table from Open Blocks, the Auto Enchanter from Mind Factory Reloaded, and some little things like that, but I'll set those up later. They're not really that elaborate or anything that we're going to turn to a lot. Let's go ahead and pop upstairs here, and I need to light this area up. But this is the teleportation room that I've been working on. I did manage to get an end portal moved using teleposers from Blood Magic. So those do work. It's kind of weird because if we pop over to the end portal, you'll notice there's still a end portal here. Because when you break when you move the end portal blocks, it doesn't actually remove the end portal itself. So that's still here, which is cool, I guess. But we have one right here at our house now as well. So those do move with the teleposers, and they keep their Eye of Ender and everything, so it's wonderful. I also moved our Runic Dungeon portal up here, our Nether portal, which I went ahead and made one of the big ones. I still have to add the ceiling into this. Even though I may use that design or something. Maybe even use this as a ceiling and kind of decorate the bottom of it, you know. I don't know. And then we have our Twilight Forest portal. Now in addition, there's some other portals that we can make, and we are actually going to make a few of those today. So the first one that I want to make is the portal to the Last Millennium. This is actually a really cool, at least I think it's really cool. Okay, we've already got burnt quartz. I think it's a really cool dimension personally, and it's very unique, let's say. Okay, we're going to need some purple dye. Why, I don't want stupid bee dye. And there's our carved eminence stone, and there's our portal to the Last Millennium. Now we still need to make a portal to the Deep Dark in the very near future, so we will definitely be doing that. Also in the portal room, I'm going to set up a little area that has teleports, basically like this one, like the moon base, and we're going to have one that teleports us to Mars and one that teleports us to the asteroids and so on. And little things like that kind of spread out in the room. That's kind of why I made the room so high, is because I want a fair number of different portals in this area. But this portal to the Last Millennium, let's go ahead and we're going to set it up. Actually, for right now, we're just going to put it like right here. And I'll probably move this once I figure out kind of where I want this to go. I really need to light this area up. So anyway, the portal to the Last Millennium, you can just right click it, and it's going to bring you to the Last Millennium. And there's the last villager, and we can speak to him and get a spirit tree sapling. And we've got a cauldron here with a little bit of water and whatnot. And aside from this, really, this is just a sky dimension. You'll notice there's bedrock right there. And if we look here, we are currently at Y level 64. It's an always dark sky dimension. And if you ever played Chrono, you're probably familiar with the Last Millennium and the Last Villager and so on. This is a direct reference to that game. And the next thing that I want to get is I want to get the Aroma Dimensional World opened up. And we may actually put this to use. It is a fairly useful dimension. So let's go ahead and we're going to get our mining multi-tool. And then what we can do is we can craft with this mining multi-tool, combine it with these stone bricks, and we'll get some portal frames. So let's get, I want to say it's a 5x5, or 5x3, 5x4. I believe it's a 5x4. So what we need 16 of these. And we can also get this dimension changer, which is another handy tool. Let's go ahead and grab that. And there we go. Dimension changer. Oh, we can actually use one that's already broken. And if you hold right click just like that, that's going to teleport you inside of the stone. We're at Y level 74. So let's go ahead and break out of this. And there we go. We're in the mining dimension. And you'll notice that this area is pretty much flat. This is the mining dimension basically. And if we hold this, this is going to teleport us back to the overworld. And here we are. Back at the overworld at our spawn point. So at the bed that we have set. Now if we... Let's head on up to our portal area. Because I actually want to set up the actual portal. Now the only thing about this is it's kind of going to be lopsided. And I don't think there's anything I can do about that. I hate stuff that's even numbers like this. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll just have to set it up and deal with it, I suppose. So we're going to set up our portal frame just like this. We're going to bring it up. And it's really similar to another portal setup. So we're going to end up with something like this. And then if we use our mining multi-tool on it, it'll activate the portal. And if we sneak inside of this, it's going to bring us to the mining world. Haha. And basically what the mining world is, you notice we still have villages and stuff that spawn, but it's basically just a pretty well flat area. It's all going to be mining biome dimension. And if we fly around here, it's relatively flat and it is the perfect area to run a quarry through due to that fact, because you're not really going to have any mountains or anything getting in your way or whatnot. And you don't have to rip up, you know, your overworld or whatever to use it. So it's actually very useful. I don't know what's going on there. Huh. Okay. Well, you have fun with that. Let's see. Do we not have a blacksmith? That's another mod we want to get into fairly soon, is more RF tools, because we're going to be making some fun dimensions in the very near future. Now in the portal room, I will likely set up a portal to our RF tools dimension, but instead of just dropping down like a portal teleporter thing, I'm probably going to build out a full, like probably mechanism teleport, so we actually have the full teleportation structure. Alright, and then one last thing that I want to do is I want to make our portal to the deep dark. So I finished compressing out some cobblestone. We may eventually automate that. No, maybe. To get bedrockium and whatnot. I don't need that anymore either. So let's see. Let me get some wood. And we'll set our crafting table up like right over here. Yeah. And what we need to do is we need to make unstable ingots. We're going to need 4 of those. So it's iron divided by diamond. And we have to get mentally prepped here. I always hate crafting this stuff. So one thing I like is in 1.10 it's not a thing anymore. So let me fill up these. Okay. Here we go. And our unstable ingots need to go around like so, and there we go, portal to the deep dark. So that quintuple is fairly expensive on cobblestone. The quintuple itself is 59,000 cobblestone. The others are only like, I think 7,000 or something like that. So I was waiting a little bit to craft all of that out. That's okay. That is okay. But the portal to the deep dark is another really, really nice mining dimension, which we'll probably put to use fairly soon. It works pretty much like the portal to the Last Millennium. If you just right-click on it, it's going to take you to the deep dark. And you'll notice that we spawn into a room full of torches. We are actually in the ceiling of this. We're at Y level 163, and so you kind of have to dig down. Now, if you were to dig straight up, which you can do, eventually you'll hit bedrock. And that's digging straight up. Now, if you dig down, you will actually fall out of the world. So it's kind of backwards, like the sky is at the bottom and bedrock is at the top. So just a heads up on that. But let's go ahead and we're just going to dig down. And once you hit cobblestone, you know you're getting close. And let me go ahead and mark this. And we're going to say deep dark. And I didn't really bring torches with me. Maybe I should have. It's actually dealing a decent amount of damage to me, which is surprising. I actually didn't expect that. So let me grab a few of these torches up. Basically, the deep dark, you're going to take damage anytime that you aren't around a light source. Now, it's not always going to happen instantaneously. Like you'll notice, I can run through this a decent ways, and this is all purely dark. But eventually you will start taking damage. Now once you get to the bottom, you're going to come across a place like this. It's all cobblestone and very, very fun looking. There tend to be a lot of mobs that spawn here. There's also these big holes that you'll find, and you can see as we go down this, you can see it's very, very ore rich. And there's pretty much everything that you can imagine that spawns in here. It does have full mod support, so you will come across everything. Now eventually, you'll notice that we are at Y level 8. So right down there is the bottom of the world. You can see a little bit of bedrock, but you can fall through these holes and you will die. So just a heads up on that. So anyways, if we head on up, there are a few structures that spawn in the deep dark. I'll just fly around for a second to show you. Here is one of them. It's going to be all bedrock. And it's actually meant to be kind of like a platforming challenge, I believe. I don't know. I don't really know. I guess you just pillar up. But anyways, at the top, there's going to be a chest, which is usually fairly rich in resources. I'm going to go ahead and grab these things, I guess. And I'll take the torches too. Whatever. And so that's one of the structures that spawn here. And let's see if I can find another one. Okay, and here's the other structure that spawns in the deep dark. This is probably my favorite. Oh. Whoops. Okay, never mind. There's one actually right next to the entrance. So, I'm going to mark it and say deep dark castle. But anyway, this is one of my favorite structures that spawn, like, anywhere just about. I really like the design of it, plus it has some pretty cool blocks. And you can actually find different frequency colors. Like this is all red and brown frequency, but the one that we just saw there for a split second was more of like a bluish green. So sometimes there's some really cool looking ones that you'll come across. And if you go inside of these, they're kind of like a little maze that you have to find your way through. All the while, of course, being damaged from the darkness. And these things are generally filled with mobs. Now, I'm not going to go through all of it on camera. I've done these on camera before. But if you go all the way to the top, then eventually you will come out right there. And the top floor, the floors get smaller each floor that you go up. And usually, you'll eventually come across some treasure chests. Sometimes it can take a while. Like I said, it is a bit of a maze in this place. But there we go. Here's a room with a treasure chest in it. So we'll go ahead and take a look. We've got a block of steel, bronze sword, some unknown dimlets, and some redstone alloy and stuff. So we'll take it. Whatever. But anyway, that's pretty much this dimension. Now, like I said, it is very, very good for mining. So that will probably be the main use that we use it for, but there's also the mining dimension, so there's a couple different options. However, the deep dark is very, very ore rich. So now I will say another dimension that we're probably going to get into before too long. There's two from Thaumcraft. First is the bedrock dimension, which is a really, really cool dimension, one of my favorites, and then also the eldritch dimension, which that portal is actually going to be on top of the tower. I think it'll look cool, so that's where we're going to put that one. But yeah, that's pretty much my idea. I'm going to do a bit more work in this area. It's still a long ways from being done. I need to light it up too. But I kind of want to customize each little area. So maybe the Runic Dungeon area will have some Runic Dungeon style stuff, and then maybe the Twilight Forest will have some like little trees and grass and stuff. Maybe the Mining Dimension will have something, I don't know. Nether Portal will have some nether stuff. You get the idea. So I'm probably going to try and customize those a little bit. And work on this room quite a bit, because there's a lot I want to do in here. And then I've also got some work, just off-camera work, to finish up on the library and stuff. So, but anyways, I do believe it's just about wrapping up point. Next episode, we're going to get back into tech, because the tech that we have been doing has been very magic-oriented as far as progressing us through setting up the library and different things like that. So next episode, we will get into tech. Before next episode, I'm hoping to get the teleport room kind of worked out a bit more and a bit more of the library work done. And I also want to hopefully finish landscaping out some of this. I'm mainly just, I know I want a pneumatics building or area. I don't know if I want a whole building for pneumaticraft. I'm not for sure. Oh, by the way, another thing I did, I spent forever grinding skeletons and wither skeletons. And we have a skeleton spawner and a wither skeleton spawner, both from Draconic Evolution. So if I turn these off, pow. Good stuff. And there we go. So we'll be able to amass wither skeleton skulls now. And this I got for the bone meal aspect, because I actually got this one first. And then I was like, well, you know, I could get bones from wither skeletons. So I went and then grinded wither skeletons. Took forever, just for the record. But I was grinding some souls anyway for dragon hearts, so it wasn't really a big issue. And yeah. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you guys like the library so far. There is a bit more work I've got to do. It's just a lot of tedious things like filling out bookshelves and labeling everything. And like I said, I got a couple more enchanters to throw down. Basically, one's just for the sake of putting them down. They're not really anything that we're probably going to use. But yeah, so anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, as always, be sure and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And until next time, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you guys next time.